So that's one. The second topic related to death is, as we said, we may get the impression that some verses of the Holy Quran seem to be contradicting other verses of the Holy Quran when it comes to the repossession of the soul at the moment of death. In one verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it is Allah who takes the souls back at their time of their death. Okay, and we explained in Arabic the term tawaffi, yatawaffa, Allahu yatawaffa al-anfus, is to take something back completely. Okay, and so you have all these words, tawaffi, wafa, all of that is when you have a taking back that is complete. And so al-wafat, at the moment of death, is a reference to your soul being taken back completely. Not like when you sleep, when it is only taken back partially. Okay, we talked about that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one verse says, it is Allah who takes the souls back at the time of their death. Okay, sounds clear. In another verse it says, say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Holy Prophet to tell the people, say, the angel of death entrusted with you will take you back. Okay, so it's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly taking back your soul, as the first verse says. Now there's an angel of death entrusted with you who will take back. In a third verse, when death comes unto one of you, our messengers, and here messengers is a reference to the angels. So here there are many angels. In the second verse, you have one angel. Here you have many angels. Our messengers take him back, and they never neglect their duty. So they do as they are to do. At the right time, the right person, they take back their soul entirely. So which one is it? Is it one of the messengers? Is it one of the angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to as the messengers of Allah? Is it the angel of death? Or is it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We can say it's all three. So if we take an example, and we talked at length about this when we talked about the topics related to Tawheed, and we talked about Tawheed al-Af'ali, we said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything that happens in this world, if it happens, it's because He allows it to happen and He gives it the power to happen. And it would not happen without Him. It would not happen without His authority, without His permission, without His power. And then we talked about all the sorts of different phenomena that exist in this world. So we said, for instance, fire burns. So is it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that burns, or is it the fire? I don't know if you remember, for those of you who are, majority of you were here from the beginning, we said we can say both. It depends what you're looking at. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this specific permission, this specific power to this specific entity called fire to burn. But that power does not come from within itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put the power in it. So can you say that it's Allah who does it? Or should you say it's Allah or the fire? Well, it depends which one you want to emphasize, but both are okay to say. If we take a much more simple example in our day-to-day lives, let's say you work in a big company, or you work in the government. Let's say the minister wants to recognize an employee for having worked, 30 years in a department, and they've done a really good job, and so they want to give them a certificate. In certain cases, that employee is going to be summoned, and they will go and meet the minister or the prime minister directly, and they will be given that certificate. And so you'll say, the minister gave them the certificate. In other cases, the minister is going to ask the department, or policies are put in place so that employee is recognized automatically by the system. And so at the end of the day, it might be the supervisor of that employee who gives them their certificate. And that certificate was authorized by the manager, who was authorized by the director, who was authorized by the director general, who was authorized by the minister, who was authorized by the prime minister's office. So who gave it? Well, anyone in the chain could be said to have given that letter. The director general recognized and appreciated the services of that employee, and so they dedicated and they gave them the certificate. Or the direct supervisor, or we could say the prime minister did it, because he's the one who gave the order. The same thing applies, let's say, to a commander, a colonel, a general with a soldier. They give the general orders, and the soldier goes and executes. and the general comes back and says, I did this or we did that, and that's it. You don't go back and ask, but it was not really you, you only gave the order, because that authority came from them. Okay, these are minor examples of the idea of the Tawheed al-Af'ali that we explained. And so when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the taking back of the soul, it's the same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we said everything that is in the hidden aspect of the world, al-ghaib, is actually being managed by this invisible force, which is the angels. And the Quran makes this again and again, this point very clear. And we talked at length about the role of the angels in the world. And so one of their roles is to take back the souls. But the angels don't work without a general manager. The general manager, the one who is mandated with this entire aspect of existence of this world, which is death, is under the authority of one angel. He is the angel of death. That's his main file. That's his main mandate and authority. We don't know what else he does, but that part we know he does as it relates to us because the Quran tells us he does. And where does he get his power? Well, he gets it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially when it comes to things that are beyond the power and comprehension of human beings, the Quran makes a point. Even though it says an angel might do it, when it comes to things like life and death, because it's so powerful, because it's so miraculous, it breaks away with the order of things, it's so fascinating as a reality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first makes sure to remind you that it's Allah who controls all of this, and then He explains to you the rest of the order. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala establishes clearly that something like life and death, it's all within the hands of God. But with that said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a system in which He has asked, has mandated, has given the power to this angel, and He has given him all of these lower rank angels under him to execute His orders, and it's those angels who will come and who will take the souls of specific human beings, as every angel is mandated with the person that they are supposed to deal with. Okay, so that's one topic.